Hey, you guys, here we are. We are going to finish this book. I am determined to finish this book. Scott, are you determined to finish this book?
I'm determined.
Are you guys determined? Because I'm determined, damn it. As per usual, we're here. You guys, we got Oreo Jr. He's Santa Claus today. And you will see this costume again. Because, Christmas is a coming. We have Scott and we have myself, and we are here to finish this book. Wait till Helen comes. Period. Scott, do you have anything?
No. Just ready to see how it all ends.
And end is well, we got 2 more chapters. We'll see how far I get. Definitely 1 chapter. We'll see if that second one get thrown up in there. So anyway, let me put Oreo Jr. over here with his posse, his crew. And let's get this party started. Let's go. Scott, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Chapter 14, damn it. Tangled together, Heather and I landed on a dirt floor. For a few seconds, neither of us moved or spoke, too shocked to understand what happened. Finally, I opened my eyes and looked up. Above my head was the hole we had fallen through. Its edges raggedy. Y'all lucky to be alive, girl. Y'all can't be running around in dilapidated homes. That's dangerous. A gray light shone down through it, but all around us was darkness, smelling of mold and damp earth and age. Shivering, I turned to Heather. Are you all right? Helen put us here, Heather whispered. She hates me now because of what you did. She crouched beside me, trembling with fear and cold. Girl, that house old. Uneasily, I gazed upward at the hole, expecting to see Helen peering down at us, laughing. Nothing was there. Why didn't you let me go with her? Heather sobbed. It sounded so beautiful, girl. Now let's have this conversation. Scott, are you ready to have this conversation?
I'm ready.
I hope y'all are ready too. Let's have a talk. Let's have the talk. Just because things sound beautiful does not mean that they are beautiful. Because we have these things called beautiful lies. Okay? I've been told a few. Okay? Notably by some men who I dated. Okay? Scott, have you ever been told beautiful lies? Have y'all? Put y'all beautiful lies that y'all been told down in them comments. Scott, have you been told a beautiful lie before?
I don't know, probably.
Mm-hmm. So what my girl is experiencing at 7 is her first beautiful lie. And honey, they be sounding good too. Okay. So I'm gonna need for people to peep these beautiful lies, like trust yet verify. Okay, let's keep going though. She immediately wait, where was I? Oh, rainbows every day, girl. You almost got the thing that caused the rainbow in our Sunday Fun Day school. It's called drowning. Okay, the last time a rainbow came, honey, all of humanity got drowned. Rainbows every day, unicorns eating roses, girl, mermaids singing, nothing ugly or hateful. Heather began sobbing. Well, girl, you gonna be there. So I guess there will be something hateful there, eh? Heather began sobbing again, and I put my arm around her trying to comfort her. She immediately stiffened and pulled back from me. Don't touch me, she wept. Get away from me. I don't want you near me. I didn't know you were so unhappy, I said, thinking how well she'd hidden her misery from behind hateful looks and nasty acts. That's usually what happens. Look, let me tell you something I learned. When people treat you bad, it's usually a reflection of them. It's their inner world that they're projecting out like a projector. Remember projectors back in the day, Scott? It's usually them projecting their inner world out onto you. So, of course, this little girl was miserable. She was sitting up there lying, telling ugly lies. I pulled her back against me, shocked at how small and bony she was. Like me or not, I said, holding her tightly. We have to stay close to each other for warmth. People can unalive of this kind of cold. I don't care if I unalive, Heather sobbed. In fact, I hope I do. We know, girl, you almost drowned. Then I could be with Helen again and go to her kingdom and be happy. She over here over promising and under delivering, ma'am. But remember, Heather, she told you your father wouldn't be there. You might hate Michael and me and even mom, but you don't hate him. You love him. But what she said is true. If he knew how bad I am, he wouldn't love me anymore. Girl, what did you do? I'm waiting to get that secret out of this shit. Why do you think you're so bad, Heather? I peered at her small white face, yearning to read the thoughts hidden behind the mask she wore. What did you do? Girl, I want to know too. I can't tell. I can't tell ever. Only Helen understands. She struggled again to break away from me, but I tightened my grip. She gave up and slumped against my side, her face hidden. It was something to do with the fire. It has something to do with the fire, doesn't it? I stared at the dark, wet tangles of hair snaking down over her shoulder. You and Helen, both of your mothers unalived in a fire. Don't talk about the fire! Heather's head came up and her eyes met mine, searching, pleading. Girl, would you just tell? Girl, get that off your chest. Tell us what happens, sis. You started the fire. I sucked in my breath, realizing that I must have suspected it all along. And so did she. That's it, isn't it? No, no, Molly, don't say it. Don't say it. Girl, she already said it. Don't say it. Heather put a cold hand over my mouth, trying to silence me, but it was too late. We clung to each other in the dark. I didn't mean to, Heather sobbed. I was only little. I didn't know about the stove. I thought I could hide. I thought the fire would go away, but it got bigger and bigger. Girl, you remember all that from 3? Damn. And mommy was looking for me, calling me, and I didn't answer because I thought she was going to spank me. Girl, she had bigger fish to fry, literally. Girl, you didn't start. You just set the damn whole house on fire. You talking about she gonna give me a whooping? Girl, she'll give you the whooping after the fire. Like, girl, priorities, please. Then I didn't hear her anymore, and there was smoke everywhere. A fireman came and he picked me up and carried me away. But mommy wasn't anywhere because you burnt your mama up. You set your mama on fire. Like JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Called. You ever seen that movie? Have y'all seen that movie with Richard Pryor where he set himself on fire? Watch that. It's a gag. And he really did that in real life. Anyway. A fireman came and he picked me up and carried me away. But mommy wasn't anywhere. She wasn't anywhere, and it's all my fault, Molly. You need therapy. Heather clung to me, weeping. Don't tell Daddy, Molly. Please don't tell Daddy. Don't tell him it was me who made mommy unalive. He'll hate me. He'll hate me. Oh, Heather. Heather. Cradling her in my arms, I rocked her as she was a baby. My own tears splashed down on her dark head. It wasn't your fault, Heather. You were only 3 years old. Your father would never hate you. Never. Girl, if he was going to hate you, honey, he would have been did it, okay? Because you over here acting wild. You're wild. You didn't mean for it to happen. But she didn't say anything. She kept crying as if she would never stop. As I hugged her, I wished that I had been kinder, more understanding, instead of resenting her so much. But how could I have known she was guarding such an awful secret? Hell, how the hell does she remember? Scott, do you remember you being 3?
No.
Do y'all remember being 3? Because I don't remember that, honey. But I also don't have the best memory, so. After she cried herself to sleep, I sat still and wondered what we were going to do. It was dark now. The thunder and lightning had faded away, like a retreating army, leaving behind a rear guard of rain. Our clothes were beginning to dry, but we were still damp and cold. I could feel Heather shivering in her sleep. Overhead, the ruins creaked and groaned as the wind prowled through the rooms and crept through holes in the wall. Uneasily, I remembered the stones falling from the wall during Michael's in my last visit. Heather had been so sure that Helen was responsible for what happened then and now. Had Helen really cast us down into this place, trapped us here for some awful purpose? Heather stirred and moaned in her sleep, and I held her tighter, determined to comfort her. It's all right, Heather, I whispered. I want Daddy. Girl, take her home. Take her little ass home. Just run through the rain and go home. Why didn't he come to get us? Maybe him and Mom are still in Baltimore. It's dark, Molly. Heather frowned at me. He loves Jean more than me. Oh my God. Get her some damn therapy. He doesn't care what happens to me anymore. You know that's not true. She took him away from me. Heather's voice was small and cold. She sat up and wiggled out of my embrace. Not wanting her to slip back into the way of thinking, I shook my head. Look, Heather, don't you think Michael and I feel the same way sometimes? We were perfectly happy living with our mom after our dad left. We didn't want to share her with Michael and you, but she loves him and he loves her. They love us too. Maybe we just have to learn to be a family. All of us. You and Michael and me. Oh, girl, these are lots of ands. You and Michael and me and Mom and Dave. Girl, that's a lot of ands. She shook her head unconvincingly. Daddy and I were family, just the two of us, because you burnt your mama up, girl, because you set your mama on fire. That's why. Just the two of us and grandmother. Well, Michael and Mom and me, here go all them aunts, and me were a family too. But now we're a bigger family. Girl, like the Brady Bunch. Period. But not better. She stuck her lip out, pouting. But we'll get better. Starting with you and me, Heather. I reached out and grasped her hand. I'll be your sister, Heather. If you'll be my sister. Oh, Scott, oh. She regarded me soberly, examining my face for deceit. And you won't tell Daddy about the fire? Absolutely, I am. Girl, if Molly don't tell him, I'm gonna try to tell him. Sorry. No, I won't tell him. I paused, squeezing her hand tightly. But I think you should. Right there. Oreo Junior, right here. Girl, if you don't confess and free your soul from this. No, Molly. Heather jerked her hand away. No, don't make me do that. I can't. But if you tell him, you'll know he loves you. I stood up, following her back away from me. Following her, she backed away from me. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, there's some bad stuff going on outside. Come back. No, she moaned. No. Come back here, Heather. I reached for her and missed her as she slipped away from me, still crying. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. All I'm saying is, but I didn't get a chance to finish my sentence. As I lunged towards her, eager to explain, I stumbled and nearly fell. What's this? I picked up a round object from a heap of rubble. When I realized what sort of eyes I was staring into, I recoiled in horror and hurled the thing into the darkness. I heard it clang against something unseen and pulled Heather close to me, feeling her body tremble against mine. What was it, Molly? She whispered. A skull. It was a human skull. I saw his eyes. Heather pressed her knuckles to her mouth and stared fearfully into the shadows where I had thrown the skull. It's them, she cried. It's them. Who? I clung to her terrified, imagining that we were buried alive in a hideous family crypt, girl, surrounded by the bones of Helen's victims. Helen's mother and her stepfather, girl, they ain't found them in all that time. Who the hell was the people that came? Never mind. They were trapped in a house in a fire, and no one ever found their bodies. Heather's voice was shaky too. The two of us edged back to the middle of the tiny room. A small light still shone through the holes over our heads, making the shadows around us seem darker and more menacing. What other hideous things lurked here, waiting for us? For a while, neither of us spoke. The only sounds were the drip of the rain and the chip, chip, chip of crickets. Girl, clearly I can't make no cricket sounds. The small, cheerful noise that was very out of place in our grim surroundings. Girl, go home. Heather, I said, breaking the silence at last. Did Helen start the fire? She nodded, but she didn't mean to. She was arguing with her stepfather. Oh, and she knocked the oil lamp over. The tablecloth and the drapes caught fire, and Helen ran out of the room. Is everybody just setting people on fire? Okay. We got Heather setting people on fire, Helen setting people on fire, and Richard Pryor setting himself on fire. That's another story, though. The fire spread so fast, it trapped her mother and her stepfather. Helen heard her mother calling her, and then the floor caved in. She ran outside into the pond. And your ass trying to go up in there with her? These are not good decisions, sis. Heather hid her face in her hands and wept. She's been alone ever since, Molly. No, she haven't, because she's been drowning other kids, honey. But the other little girls, the ones who drowned in the pond, I leaned towards Heather. What happened to them? Why aren't they with her? They wouldn't stay. What the fuck is that? What is Helen down there doing to the girls? Like, girl, she must be a horrible friend. Okay, girl. It sounds like, girl, here we go. Helen might need some therapy. Hey, Helen, go get you a therapist, girl. Why wouldn't they wait. Oh, yeah. They wouldn't stay. They always faded away and left her. She didn't know where they went. To their parents, maybe. They didn't love her enough to stay. Heather leaned against me, sobbing. And now I've left her too, and she's still alone. Girl, go to heaven. Go to therapy. Go to Valhalla. Go to purgatory. Like, girl, you got some place. Go to Dante's Inferno. Girl, pick somewhere and get there, honey. Okay? And stop coming over there trying to get little girls to go into the pond with you, baby. It's just too much. What say you, Scott?
Yeah.
What y'all think? Like, girl, like throughout centuries, they have had so many different places: heaven, hell, purgatory. Like, all the girl, find one and get there. Do that. I stroked her hair and tried to comfort her, wishing Mom was here. Surely she and Dave had returned from Baltimore and noticed that we were missing. Why hadn't they come to rescue us, girl? Because they don't know where the fuck y'all are, and it's raining and it's cold. They probably over there telling Michael he the problem. I'm so cold, Heather whimpered. So cold. The temperature seemed to be plummeting, and the air smelled more strongly of decay and stagnation. Ew. A glimmer of light drew my attention to the hole above us. Heather was leaning on the floor, peering down at us. The silver chain hung from her neck. I thought we got rid of that. The heart slowly turning, reflecting the bluish glow of her skin. Oh, Helen. Oh, it's Helen. Oh, I almost lost my hat. Oh, girl, wait. Oh, I know. Oh, Lord, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, y'all. Wait, we had a problem. We having technical difficulties. Okay, wait, let's see. Okay, I found my spot. Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. So Helen was kneeling on the floor, peering down at us. The silver chain hung from her neck, the heart slowly turning, reflecting the bluish glow of her skin. Okay, girl. It's all my fault, Helen cried, stretching out her hands. My fault, Mama. Uh-oh. Oh, girl, Helen about to get a whooping. Heather looked up, then shrank against me, her bony shoulder blades jabbing against my chest. I don't want to go with her anymore, Molly, she whispered. Don't let her take me. Girl, 2 seconds ago you were saying that you had wish you went with her and this little girl is alone. What is changing your mind now? We need to pick a struggle here. You need therapy. So you could pick a struggle. I held her tightly. Don't worry, I whispered. I'll protect you. How? Mama, I'm sorry, Helen wailed above us. She looked more tragic than frightening. I ached and pitied her. She seemed unaware of Heather and I. All that existed for her was her own sorrow. Slowly, she dropped down through the hole and glided past us into the shadows where I hurled the shadow or the skull. Dropping to her knees, she whispered, Forgive me, Mama, forgive me. She paused. In the glow she cast, I could see 2 skeletons. Extending her hand, she reached out towards them. And you too, Papa Robert. I didn't mean for you to unalive, nor Mama either, nor me, nor me. She knelt motionless by the skeletons, her head bowed, weeping. Heather's hands closed around mine. Poor Helen, she whispered. As I watched, another figure appeared in the cellar. From the mist, it seemed to form itself into a woman wearing a long dress. Smiling, she drew Helen to her feet and embraced her, comforting her, stroking her hair, rocking her gently. For several seconds, the 2 figures shimmered in the darkness. Then they disappeared as quickly as images on the screen vanish when the projector is turned off. Slowly, the terrible cold subsided, and I knew that Heather and I were alone and out of danger. It was Helen's mother, I whispered. Heather squeezed my hand. She forgave her, Molly. She forgave her. She looked up at me and smiled. She knew it was an accident. She knew Helen didn't mean for them to unalive. I know. I returned the squeeze, marveling at the tiny bones in her hand. Helen isn't alone anymore. She isn't sad. Heather gazed at me. Do you think my mother has forgiven me? Oh, Heather, she forgave you a long time ago. And Daddy, if I tell him, do you think he'll forgive me? I'm sure he will. Heather relaxed and leaned against me, her thumb seeking her mouth. Girl, don't do that. You ain't washed your hands, girl. You done fell through the floor. You done touched all kinds of stuff. You done touched ghosts. Girl, don't put your thumb in your mouth. You're going to get brush. I wish he would come and get us, she sighed. I want to go home. So do I. I toyed with her hair, twined it around in my fingers. It was dry now, silky soft against my skin. Tonight, I thought, we were safely home. When we're safely home, sorry. I would brush it for her until it's shown. Girl, it don't work like that. You're not going to go that quick with that girl. That girl still need therapy. Should we do the next chapter or should we wait till tomorrow?
It's up to you.
Let's get it done. Okay.
All right.
Hours seemed to pass while Heather slept. The rain stopped. Above my head, I could see a few stars through the holes in the roof. From somewhere in the woods, an owl hooted, and the crickets continued to chirp, safe in his hiding place. Girl, you better hope my cats don't come because they ain't gonna be safe no more. Just as I was falling asleep, I heard Michael calling me, nudging Heather awake. I jumped to my feet. Down here, I yelled. We're down here. I heard someone enter the room above us. Be careful. The floor is weak. Heather and I fell through. A flashlight beamed down to Heather and I. And Michael yelled, Dave, here they are. At a moment, Dave was lowering himself cautiously through the hole. Embracing Heather, he cried, You're all right. Thank God you're all right. Molly saved me, Heather said. Oh, girl, you gonna tell the truth now? Okay, girl. Heather said, clinging to him. I didn't drown in the pond. I almost drowned in the pond, and she saved me. Dave put an arm around me. I wouldn't want a hug from him. And hugged me against his side with Heather between us. We've been so worried. What were you doing here? Before I could answer, I heard Michael gasp. There are bones down here. He was crouching above us, beaming his flashlight into the corner where the skeletons lay. In the circle of light, we saw them huddled together, still wearing the rags of their clothing. They've been here ever since the fire, I told Dave. They're Helen's parents, Heather added. You don't have to worry, Daddy. They won't hurt you. I don't think he was worried about that. I would close that. Dave did look a little edgy, I thought. Let's get you home, he said to Heather. You too, Molly. He hoisted Heather onto the floor above us, and Michael helped her to her feet. Then Dave bolstered me up and pulled himself up after me. Period. Now do something nice for the family and stop blaming everybody because your daughter needs therapy. You too, sir. Oh, Molly. Mom was kneeling in the doorway, her arms around Heather. She reached out for me and I ran to her, clinging to her as shamelessly as a baby. I've been so scared, Mom said, hugging me tightly. Dave picked Heather up and turned back to Michael. Come on, the girls need to get home and take a nice hot bath. Girl, me too. Ooh, I feel like I've been going through it with them. Oh my God. Michael was still peering into the darkness of the cellar, playing the beam of his light on the bones. Isn't it against the law to leave bones lying around unburied, sir? They've been sitting there for like 1,000,000,000 years. He asked Mom. She moved cautiously to his side and looked over his shoulder. They were buried, she said, uncertainly, till now. I guess that nobody knew the cellar was there, Michael mused. Most of the ceiling fell down and blocked the room. If you all hadn't fallen through the floor, the bones would have laid there forever. No, they would have bulldozed that house and found them bones eventually, Phil. Dave nodded. He was still standing in the doorway, holding Heather. I'll call the police when we get back to the church, he said. They ought to be given a decent burial. Can't I keep them? Michael asked. Now, I've been Team Michael this whole time, okay? But on this one, sir, it's given, okay? It's given RFK Jr. You know how he be picking up dead or unalive corpses off the side of the road? It's given that. Okay, sir? No. Did you just ask it? Wasn't it against the law to leave things unburied? Now, sir, you know what will be that? No, for that. But do you know what will probably be against the law? If you take them and add them to your collection. That's weird. I could study them, learning all about them. It would be the greatest science project. You should be a mortician. When Michael grow up, he needs to be a mortician. Michael the mortician. That's who he needs to be. They need to write. I'm gonna write a book about Michael the mortician. Or y'all can. Please take that thought. Michael? Mom stared at her offspring, obviously shocked. Girl, you should not be. Well, they have bones in science class and medical students study them. Why can't I? They donated. Sir, those people donated their bones. These people did not donate their bones. They got burnt up by their daughter. It's scientific. They have to be buried with Helen, Heather said. Families are always buried together. That's a lie. Like the berries, I said, walking out of the house with Mom. What are you two talking about? Dave asked. You know, the little tombstone in the graveyard. I watched Michael, waiting for him to make a derogatory remark about ghosts. But he was absorbed in shining his light far ahead, watching its beams fan out into a circle as he played it across the woods. Well, I went on, Helen Harper is buried there. She lived in this house, and when it burned down, her parents unalived. Their bones are in the cellar, and they should be buried with Helen, like Heather says. Heather and I looked at each other, firmly united. Please, Daddy, tell the police so they'll know, she said. Heather and I It's very important to you, isn't it? Dave hugged Heather and she nodded. Girl, it's important because y'all don't want to get haunted again. If y'all don't bury them bones, child, them people gonna be over there tearing up all your stuff. Dave smiled at me. Is this a sort of alliance? Slipping my arm around Mom's waist, I smiled back. It sure is, I said. When we got home, Heather and I each had a hot bath and steaming cups of herb tea before we went to bed. Period. I'm gonna have me some tea before I go to bed too. After Dave and Mom said goodnight and left us alone in the dark, Heather said, I'm sorry I told Helen to wreck your things, Molly. If I could, I would make her come back and fix everything. Your stuff and Michael's and Jean's too. It's all right, Heather. It's not. I'm like, Heifer, when you get your first job, run me my money. Run me my money. When you get your first job, you 7, you got 9 years. Run me my money. It's all right, Heather. It's not your fault. Helen possessed you, I think. But not anymore, Heather said. No, she's gone now. With her mother, Heather yarned, and her stepfather, I added. They're a family now. A little whisper of breeze puffed the curtains away from the window and set the leaves to murmuring. Should I tell Daddy about the fire tomorrow? Girl, you should have told him on the way back home that you set your mama on fire. Should I tell Daddy about the fire tomorrow? Heather asked quietly. I think you'll feel better if you do. Will he still love me? Her voice quivered. I know he will. You saw Helen's mother, the way she hugged and comforted her. She forgave her, and she hadn't stopped loving her. Heather sighed and turned over noisily. I'm glad you're my sister Molly, she said, her voice slurry with sleep. Me too, Heather. I meant it. For the first time, she seemed like a real true sister instead of an enemy camping in our home, making me and everyone else miserable. Girl, wait till she wake up tomorrow. The next day, Dave called the police and told them about the skeletons in Harper House. Although he had a lot of explaining to do, why he gotta explain? Y'all know y'all ain't found them damn bodies. Y'all did a poor job of finding some bodies. Not Dave. Dave's a hero. He finally succeeded in convincing Officer Green that the house should be buried in, or that the bones, what I say, the house? It's time for me to go to bed. The bones should be buried in St. Swithin's churchyard as close to Helen's as possible. When he hung up the phone, Heather ran to his side and slipped her hand in his. Will you go for a walk with me, Daddy? She asked. I need to talk to you about something. Girl, he gonna come back with a really bad attitude because she about to say, I set my mama on fire. No big deal. Calm down. Sure, honey, he said. I got work to do in the carriage house, but I can spare you a few minutes before I get started. I stood at the back door and watched them walk across the yard together. Her face turned up to his bent down towards hers. Mom stood behind me, looking over my shoulder. I don't know why, she said, but Heather seems happier this morning. And last night, she really surprised me. She actually let me hug her. Maybe your adventure together at Harper House was just what this family needed to pull it together. I leaned against her, enjoying the feel of her arms around me. Would you still love me no matter what I did? Ooh, if my child asked me that, I'll be scared. Scott, if your child came and said, would you love me no matter what I did, what would you think? What would y'all think? Put it in the comment section. I'll be like, you on drugs?
Yeah.
What that mean?
Can't think of anything good.
Girl, what? What do you mean, Mom asked. Well, I watched a monarch butterfly fly towards the zinnias growing in a tub near the porch. Suppose I did something really horrible. Girl, this is not, let Heather tell her daddy what she did and stop making your mama paranoid, because this will just make me paranoid of my child. Like, let me lock my doors at night, my bedroom door. Suppose I did something really horrible and I told you about it a long time afterward. Would you hate me? I pulled away from her so I could see her face. Mom smiled, but she seemed a little puzzled. Are you about to confess to committing a heinous crime? Right, girl, you cannot just be throwing some shit out there like that. Girl, that's gonna scare your mama. I would be scared. Like, do I need to go get my taser? My nunchucks? My knife? What do I need to do here? She made it sound as if I were joking. You were the one who broke your grandmother's priceless meme vase all those years ago. She laughed. No, Mom, I'm serious. I studied her eyes, trying to read the expression in them. Suppose I call someone to unalive, girl. What are these questions? I didn't mean to. It was an accident. But I was scared to tell you. What would you do if I confessed? Mom brushed a strand of hair out my eyes, her hand touching me gently. Molly, you're not making any sense. You sure the hell ain't, she said slowly. Would you still love me? Would you forgive me? I heard my voice rise like a child's. That's all I want to know. Do parents love their children no matter what they do? It depends on the parent, girl. Mom put her arm around me and hugged me. And no, I'm kidding. I'll always love you, Molly. Always, no matter what. You should know that by now. But what about Dave? Would he? Girl, they just got married. Dave?
No, he doesn't even love you now.
No, he's talking about. I think she wants to know if he gonna forgive Heather.
No.
I think that's what she getting at. But girl, just pop the secret. Just tell the secret, child. Just spill it. Dave? She hesitated as if she wasn't sure how Dave fit into all this. Not me, Heather. If Heather did something awful, would he still love her? Molly, Mom said, sucking her breath in hard, her eyes darkening with concern. What are you trying to tell me? The fire. Heather started it by accident, but she thinks it's her fault her mother unalived. The words flew out of me as if a dam had burst. She's afraid Dave will hate her if she tells him. Oh my God. Mom leaped against the doorframe, her hands pressed to her mouth. That poor little girl. That poor child. To keep something like that bottled up inside all these years. No wonder she's so closed off and untouchable. Give her some damn therapy. Y'all should have been got her therapy. That would have came out in the wash of therapy. Girl. She was playing with the stove, I told Mom. Somehow a fire started. She hid and her mother unalive looking for her, I guess. She told me about it last night when we were trapped in the cellar. I thought she should tell Dave. Is that why she wanted to go for a walk, girl? She probably over there lying. Mom stepped out on the porch and gazed across the line. I don't see them anywhere, she said. I gave her the right advice, didn't I? I looked past Mom's small figure towards the graveyard, imagining Heather and Dave sitting near Helen's grave. So she told them about the fire. Mom turned to me, embracing me fiercely. Of course you did, Molly. Dave will understand. Girl, Heather probably about to blame Molly for unaliving her mama over. Like she's that kind of girl. I don't trust nothing that little girl did because these past 14 other chapters, she's been running amok. Releasing me, she shook her head. I never even suspected, she said, more to herself than me. She must have thought we all hate her if we knew. That's exactly what she did think. And the ghost. It must have been a projection of her own guilt, Mom said. Before I could think of a good answer, I saw Heather and Dave walking towards us. He was still holding her hand, and they were smiling at each other. And when she saw us, Heather pulled away and ran to me, her eyes shining with tears. As Mom hurried to Dave's side, Heather smiled to me. I told him everything, Molly, she whispered, and he still loves me. He knows it was an accident. She buried her head in my stomach. She nodded her skinny arms around me and squeezed till it hurt. Okay, girl, maybe you ain't alive no more. A few days later, Plummer's funeral parlor sent a hearse to St. Swithin's graveyard. For the first time in almost 40 years, the crows in the oak tree had a funeral to watch. Okay, hey, period. Mr. Simmons himself had supervised the digging of the graves. The minister from the new church was there, Bible in hand, a number of people from Howell, including a reporter for the Journal. It was almost a festive occasion. Y'all burying somebody is festive? Okay, girl, y'all got a strange town. I thought as I listened to the conversation around me. Most of these people knew nothing of the terrible unhappiness that the burial was bringing to an end. At the conclusion of the service, everyone stepped forward, picking up handfuls of earth and tossing it into the graves. I heard several of them comment on Heather's tears. What a sensitive child she must be, a stout woman observed, adjusting the angle of her large straw hat. Her companion nodded. You'd think she knew the poor souls personally. She did, girl. She almost became one of them. She's probably too young to be exposed to such a tragic funeral, the woman in the straw hat said. I never thought a little child should be told about unaliving. Why frighten them? Let them keep their innocence for as long as they can. Girl, she burned her mama up. Okay? She unalived her mama because she started the fire. It was an accident. But girl, she was already exposed at 3. Okay? The two of them walked to their cars and drove off, leaving us alone, except for Mr. Simmons. Glad to see this is settled, he said, heaping earth over the graves. She'll rest in peace now, like them. He waved the shovel towards the berry patch. She's with her own. Heather gazed at the marble angel posed on his pedestal above the berries, his wings uplifted. Daddy should make Helen one of those, she said to me. I think she'll like to have one. Don't you? It would look very pretty, I said, watching Mr. Simmons pat the freshly turned earth with the shovel. Wait, you had to shovel the whole thing by yourself, sir? They make equipment now. Your back strong, Mr. Simmons. Got that strong back. By September, a small marble angel guarded Helen's grave, and 2 stones flanked hers. Her own name, not just her initials, marked her burial place, and English ivy softened the mounds of earth over her parents' graves. The cemetery had lost its gloom, and I no longer feared it. Yeah, because the ghosts are gone, girl. You good. One afternoon in early October, Michael, Heather, and I were walking in a sunny spot not far from Helen's grave. It was a warm, sweet-smelling day, more like spring than fall. Michael was watching a huge wood beetle crawling around its glass jar prison, girl. And I was reading the bars to Heather. Do you want me to read the next chapter? Oh, I just asked y'all that. This is like a psychic.
Wow.
This is syncing up. I was sure she didn't want me to leave poor Stainless face completely captured. But when I looked at her, I realized she wasn't paying much attention to the story. Scott don't be paying attention either, y'all. Scott's a lot like Heather. She was lying on her back, chewing on a blade of grass, and staring up at the clouds drifting slowly across the incredibly blue sky. Do you think she can see us from where she is? She asked dreamily, her mind apparently far from Stainless' plight. I don't know, I said, guessing that she was thinking of Helen. It was the first time in weeks that she had mentioned her. Wherever she is, though, she's happy, I added. I'm sure of it. Me too, Heather agreed. She sat up and gazed at the angel under the oak tree. He gazed back serenely, seeming to return her smile. Suddenly, she grasped my arm, her nails biting into the sleeve of my shirt. Molly, she whispered, look. Did I scare you, Scott?
You did.
She got to her feet and ran towards the angel, and I ran after her, seeing what she saw. Something shiny dangled from the angel's outstretched hands, a silver locket turning slightly in the breeze. Before I could stop her, Heather snatched the chain from the angel's stiff fingers. As I watched it seem to pop open by itself in her outstretched palm, on one side was a picture of Helen. On the other was a folded piece of paper. With trembling hands, Heather slipped it out of the frame and spread it flat. We both read the message, written in the same small hand I had once seen scrawled over my bedroom walls. With love from Helen, it said, do not forget me. Heather and I looked at each other. The sun warmed our backs as it shone down through the oak's reddening leaves. Bees buzzed in the goldenrod, and a grasshopper bounded away from Michael as he was approaching us. You better run, Forrest. Run, grasshopper, because that dude crazy. Where did you get that old thing? He asked, looking at the locket. I thought you lost it last summer. Helen gave it back to me, Heather told him solemnly. It's all right for me to wear it now. It's all right for me to wear it now, she asked, looking at me. Isn't it? I nodded, but Michael rolled his eyes skyward. Not Helen again. I thought we heard the last of that ghost stuff. I think we have, I said. Now. Silently, Heather fastened a chain around her neck, smiling at me as she did. Together, we walked out of the graveyard. Behind us, Michael kicked at the grass. I still don't believe it, I heard him yell at our backs. But it seemed to me that his voice quivered a tiny bit. And they all lived happily ever after. That is it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Okay, Scott. Now, you finally got to cough it up. What did you learn? You guys as well. What did you guys learn from this story? Oh, Lord.
You can't keep things bottled up inside you. You gotta let it out and get to it.
Yeah. Get it off your chest. Sometimes things weigh on your conscience. There's a movie called The Machinist. It's a really good movie. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's like a psychological thriller. Y'all go check that out if you haven't seen it before. And this man made up he made up a whole girlfriend. He made up a whole kid, all of it. And really what his ass needed to do was own his mistakes. Like, he made up a whole delusional world, child. And what he really needed to do was own up and confess to what he did. I'm not going to tell the movie. It's really, I don't want to spoil it for you. But he made up a whole scenario. And really, he couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat, none of it until he confessed. His conscience was just chasing him. I think we as people need to accept and own who we are and what we do, and you will get further. Either you can once you own it, either you're gonna fix it or you're gonna not. So I think that's like a valuable thing. Also, if you're a parent, please take your damn kids do not sit up here and act like ain't nothing wrong with your kids. Take them to therapy if they need it. Because all this could have been resolved if David had took his child to therapy, and he probably needs to get in some therapy himself because he lost his wife unexpectedly. And Heather lost her mother unexpectedly, and she had a lot of guilt because she started the fire. All that could have been resolved by going to therapy. Family, single, whatever. They needed some therapy. And also the wife was in denial too. Girl, I would have cussed all them out. What you got? And what do y'all got? What did y'all think? What did y'all learn from this long book that was getting on my nerves because that little girl needed some therapy? So put it in the comment section. This has been a very long video, so we're going to bid you guys adieu. It's late. So from wherever we are to wherever you are, peace, love, happiness. Thanks for coming by. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna start Christopher Pike next. Thanks for coming by. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Oh, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys later. It's gonna Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.